What's up, guys? I'm back with another video. This one I'll be showing a bridge upgrade on the Jackson Soloist. Right now it has the Floyd Rose special, kind of corroded. Anywho, it stays in tune for the most part, like it should. It's just, I don't know, I want to upgrade it, and I found a good deal for an upgrade, so I went ahead and got it. I'll be doing the Gotoh GE1996T Floyd Rose. Yeah, so this is pretty much a video showing everything that's dealing with putting this bridge in a guitar that has a regular Floyd Rose, or this one, Floyd Rose Special. Also, I'll be using my normal Ernie Ball hybrid slinkies in E flat, but I figured to go with, I don't know, have a little contrast on the black hardware. I got these stainless steel bits off Amazon, Geiker, I don't know how you pronounce that. Those. I tried them before, they work pretty good, so we'll go ahead and put that on there. And it might solve a known issue with these. Alright, before I put the bridge in the guitar to show how it goes in there, I figured it'd be a good time to do like a unboxing of it. Just to show everything that comes with a standard Gotoh GE1996T. Has the clear plastic like the tuners do. Comes in a cardboard box if I can get it out. Come on. There we go. Or just take the box with it. Okay. Well, the box comes up kind of like a standard Floyd Rose 1000 or a special box, whatever. Not the 1000, but the original Floyd Rose. The top comes up. The box, some protective covering. We have the claw with the screws. Alright, go ahead and take the bar out too. Have the whammy bar, tremolo bar with internal threaded bar. I guess you can call it that. Let's see. Go ahead and do the posts. It has posts. If I can get the light on. Look inside there. There's little adjusters to where you can lock the height of the post to where whenever you're adjusting something with the strings off of it and there's no tension, the bridge will stay at its height no matter if it has strings on it or not. Also, it might very well add better contact points, so it'll have better resonance. Who'da thunk? Anywho, see what else they got besides the bridge itself. Over here we have the tremolo springs themselves and the spring lock screws, because these do have a cool little feature. Also, they have the little Allen wrenches, but this one, okay, here's the bridge. It's made in Japan by Gotoh. It has, the saddles are rounded off, so it's supposed to be a comfort thing. Plus, it's a push-in arm. You can lock the tension on the side right here, and also it screws in there with the threaded arm, so it's not going to fall out on you. These also supposed to have a lot more tuning range, or fine tuning range on the fine tuners, plus they're angled back a little bit, adding with comfort. And it comes from the factory with a brass tone block. But those screws actually go on the bottom of this and hold the springs on there in case you're doing a lot of whammy bar stuff, and the spring hooks or whatever they're called doesn't pop out by themselves. Cool little feature. Yeah. It's good to go. Anything else in the box? Information papers. Tells the different features, arm lock feature, how to remove or loosen the tension on the arm. Yeah. Instructional papers on how to lock the bridge posts or bridge studs in place, and which Allen key to use and whatnot. Anywho, these I don't think I'll be able to use in this guitar because I think these are 11 millimeter and I think the standard is 10 millimeter. 10 millimeter. So there's a chance, if I want to use these, I'll have to pull the original inserts out, re-drill it, and then, do that. But I think I'm going to save that for a later project and just use the regular studs that are already in there for now. But let's see how this looks in the guitar itself. Alright, we got the factory Floyd Special that is nice and corroded from years of use. Yeah, even though I cleaned it off on one of the past videos, it has got the pits. Factory tone block. 100% factory. Now, let's see how the Gotoh fits in there. Drop it in. Huh. Okay. Well, I've seen so many other people have trouble with the saddle lock screws hitting the body, but this one does not have that problem at all. So one of the reasons why I got these screws is these should be a little shorter than the standard Gotoh screws. So if the screws would hit the body, I just replace it with these, to clear the body route. But I don't need to if I don't want to. But I'll do it anyway to dress it up, because I like the, stainless steel look on black hardware. And plus, it's not going to corrode on you. Yeah. Okay, one more thing I do want to test out is to see if the Gotoh studs will fit in these, just to be 100% sure. Because, if these can fit in there, it'll fit. But what the hell's up with this? The seller that I bought this from on Amazon must have had this on the shelf for a long ass time. Why is it so rusty? Anywho, take out the stud out of the factory stud anyway. Alright. Will it fit? It might. Reverse. Oh no, it's not gonna fit. Yeah, it ain't gonna fit. Oh well. On a different project they will go. Alright, well here's the 4 springs that came with the Gotoh. See, a lot of people was talking about how the Gotoh was like a little stiffer. I don't know. Stiffer response would have to do with the knife point edges or the springs. The springs, these do feel a little stiffer. So stick with the regular springs, you should be alright. Alright, Special and GE1996T side by side comparison. Let's see, this is a licensed version, so it should be pretty much identical, which it looks to be. Have them side by side. This one is tilted a little forward because of the bigger block, but they're about the same dimensions base wise. This one is tilted back a little bit with this top shelf over here. So it should be safe to say, instead of having to spend the time in intonating every string, just match the string distances on this bridge. Basically take note of how every saddle looks with the intonation adjusting screws, whatever you call these things. Basically match the saddle location on the Gotoh and you should be fine, because it looks to be pretty much the exact same design. I'm also doing a little test to see if I could still use these screws with the factory Floyd Rose Special springs. Do a quick little test. See if there'll be any problems in the future. It looks like it'll go as it should. Yeah, it looks like it should go pretty good. So you ain't gotta worry about nothing. If you're afraid of it being too stiff, just use your regular springs that wasn't a guitar before. It'll work just as good. So yeah, now I'm gonna open these things up, because I'm gonna go ahead and put it on there. Even though I don't need to, I like having a stainless steel on there. You know, like I said, looks cool, fights corrosion. Yeah. Oh, here it is. The Geiger stainless steel Floyd Rose screws and bits. Has the 6 saddle lock screws, the 3 nut lock screws, the 6 intonation lock screws. And yeah, it's actual stainless steel. And get this, the whole set was like 15 bucks after taxes and shipping. Very affordable and works great. Alright, let's get this show on the road. How I'm gonna start this, I'm gonna go ahead and loosen up all the fine tuners right here, all the way. That way I can unscrew the saddle lock screws and then unscrew the intonation lock screws and replace it with those, match it to the special, and then put the saddle lock screws in. I'm not going to worry about these until I go to restring the guitar, because you know that's going to go on the nut. So yeah, first off, get the appropriate Allen wrench and well, first undo these. And a quickie little thing right here, that's how high it goes, medium, and how low it goes. that's a good bit more adjustability than a normal Floyd Rose. So that is already an improvement in my eyes. Plus, it's easier to grip these. It has the little cross pattern on there. They're easier to grip with your fingers. And plus, I love how the whole top shelf is tilted back, so it's not going to interfere too much with your picking hand, if it does to begin with. I don't know. Plus, it's more of a sleeker look. Also, here's a little comparison about how much adjustability room they have. This is on the special, which is the same dimensions as the 1000 and the Pro. Not the Pro, the original. It's not bad, you know, but this one is a lot more adjustable. There's a lot more room. I don't know how much room, but you can tell. That's gonna help out a good bit. Another thing too I've noticed is the base plate is pretty much the same thickness. Cool. On to wrench sizes. This one, I think it's a 3mm. That one is for locking the nut and removing the strings on the bridge with the saddle locks. This one's a 2.5 if I'm not mistaken. And that is to undo the intonation screw for the saddle. This one, I think that's a 1mm. Might be a 0.5, I don't know, I didn't check. But that one is for locking the bridge posts in place. That small one is definitely a 1.5. I just checked. Anywho, if you don't want to deal with those, get yourself one of these from Walmart. Hyper Tough electronic repair kit. Has everything you need. Literally. Has a screwdriver handle with a magnetic insert bit, or a place to put the magnetic bits. This is also good if you have Japanese guitars. Truss rod adjuster. Anywho, comes with all kind of little bits you need. Literally pretty much everything you need for guitar work. Yeah, I like that. Anywho, we're at this right here. I got the fine tuners all the way up. Now I have to take the saddle lock screws out. And since we know that for the saddle lock screws it's a 3mm, since we're using this, we just go to the hex, find a 3mm. I have no idea where that Y1 went to. Take this out. Swap it out. If I can get it with one hand. There we go. Boom. That way you can go ahead and undo everything without having to mess with a Allen wrench. Well, got the saddle lock screws out. And I'm going to show you what I was talking about. How sometimes the Gotoh bridges do not fit in normal Floyd Rose cavities because these hit the back of the cavity. Well, look, this upgrade will fix that problem. You ain't got to route nothing out. Just get stainless steel screws, upgrade it and dress it up a bit. Solves problems. Bada bang, bada boom. Stainless steel saddle lock screws in place. It fits perfectly too. That's the good thing about Floyd Rose stuff. If it's licensed stuff, 9 times out of 10, the parts are interchangeable. So if you ever have that problem with this one, these lock screws hitting the back of the cavity, just replace them. They'll fit, they'll work, no problem. Now onto these. Yeah, remember, swap your bit out to a 2.5, undo the screws, put the new ones on there, but don't tighten them down. You have to match the saddle location on the old bridge with the new bridge. or you know, match these to that. You get what I'm saying. Also take note of which holes the screws go in. Like this one is, or I kind of undid that one already, but you know, first hole, second hole, first hole, second hole, second hole. Just little things to keep in mind. I also just seen something else. If you can see, the Gotoh screws has these little washers. I guess to slide across that without problems. For the most part, I guess. I don't know. Whatever it may be, it might be a good idea to keep these with the new screws. So that's what I'll be doing. Alright, got the old screws, or factory Gotoh screws. Got the stainless steel screws with the little washers installed. How to put them on the bridge. And also just seen on the bottom of the Gotoh bridge, they're already staggered for you. Instead of having to figure out which hole goes where for which saddle, they have it staggered already for you. So that helps out a lot, honestly. Alright, got those screws on there. Remember, don't tighten these down just yet, because you still have to adjust the saddle positions or intonation, but we're not adjusting the intonation. Well, we kind of are. So yeah, don't tighten those down until we adjust the intonation and according to the old bridge. But that's looking pretty spiffy. Not bad at all. Alright, I got everything pretty much lined up. All I gotta do now is put the fine tuners at about halfway. Drop it in the guitar. I'd say put the fine tuners about like that, about halfway, because the Jacksons, or normally Jacksons, do not have string retainer bars behind the locking nut. So whenever you tune it and you lock the nut clamps will pull the strings like a quarter step, or maybe like a little less than a quarter step sharp. So you gotta, adjust accordingly before putting it all together and whatnot. Yeah. And here we are back at the guitar. A good rule of thumb is to always have a tone block on standby. Just put right in there. So whenever you put the bridge on, to string it up, it's not sitting in the cavity and you gotta wind it like a bunch of times for the bridge to re-level itself. See that? It's almost level. Now for the springs. Springtime. Well, I have the bridge in there and secured with the springs in the back. There's only one slight problem. This is a kind of too far out block. I think it's what, a 40? I have to source a 37mm Floyd Rose brass block and just swap it out later on. Which isn't a biggie. I seen on the Amazon listing where I bought the bridge, someone did have a problem with it being a little too long. But hey, it's all good. It looks good though. Fits good. Nice and low profile. Yeah, now to string it up. Almost forgot the little screws on the block. Such a nifty little feature. I don't know. I might get a smaller Gotoh block. I might get a smaller regular Floyd Rose block. I don't know. I'll see. Well, I got the whole thing back together. I really like this bridge. Using the regular springs that came with the other bridge on it, it was really good. There's only one problem. How the guitar, both soloists I have, was made from the factory. They have that piece of wood blocking the arm attachment. Yeah, if the treble side's too low, it'll hit against that and you won't be able to pull up off on the bar. So I had to raise the bridge on the treble side a smidge. Anywho, whenever I go to change the block out to a shorter block, I'll also route that piece of wood out so I have more room. Yeah, it looks good. New bridge, stainless steel screws. It fits perfectly and works perfectly, and I love this bar. It just pops in, just put it in place, it's good to go. And the stainless steel bits just look so good on it. Anywho, it goes together pretty good. Well, thanks for checking out another video. This is pretty much all you gotta see about when putting a Gotoh GE1996 Floyd Rose into a Jackson or any other guitar. But yeah, still kind of irked about the company doing that. Funnily enough, a lot of them do that. Two soloists are like that. My Schecter's like that. Anywho, I'll see about it later in another video. Thanks for checking it out. Catch y'all later.